I may be cheating on this one because I actually don't know if this originally premiered on television or not. It's so obscure that I can find little to no info on any broadcast history, and the only reason I know it existed is because my family had a VHS copy of it that was released under Vestron Video's Kids Division, the Children's Video Library. I'm just gonna say I happen to know of a few other releases Vestron Video made, and just laugh at the fact that they also had a kids division. Regardless, this is something I simply could not ignore. Why? Because this just might be the most bat-insane animated special I have ever seen! It is right up there with the Floppy Dogs movie that I reviewed with Zenith years ago. Prepare yourselves, people, for the absolute lunacy that was Poochie. Not that Poochie, and you know it! I barely remember the Poochie ads from the early 80s, but they were essentially the same as the aforementioned Fluppies, shilling the little dog as some cutesy puppy dogs mainly advertised for the same type of girls you expected to buy the Pretty Pretty Princess game. So, what did the lone animated special based on the toy portray it as? Oh boy! Oh boy! We open in Egypt! If you're already asking questions, you might as well give up now, because that's all you're going to do from this point on. Cut to this boy being chased by guys you would think should be digging for the Ark of the Covenant. I tried to warn you.
Help me. Oh, help me, Poochie. You're the last chance I have.
So, who is this Poochie he is basing his entire rescue on? The good news is we are quick to find out, as we cut to... New York City! And the front offices of the World Now newspaper. I cried the day this newspaper closed up shop and ended up merging with Goldie Gold's tabloid. It's here that our pink-haired puppy protagonist is chauffeured to in a DeLorean! Hey, did you know this was made in the 80s? So apparently to the rest of the world, Poochie is the mascot of the newspaper, being known as the pet and best friend of the publisher Edward Gregory, aka E.G., who named his own advice column after her. What the unwashed masses don't know is that Poochie actually runs the entire paper and the advice column in E.G.'s stead, with the aid of this C-3PO knockoff named Hermes. It is not going to get less insane from here, people! The column for the most part looks like a Dear Abby ripoff, until they get the occasional urgent letter where people in danger literally send messages of help to this column. Even if they didn't know the column was being run by a dog, who the frack gets the idea to do this? Yes, this was 1984, and not even 911 had been established yet. But still, your life is in danger, and your solution is to ask help not from, say, any American ambassador or embassy in the country, but from the same columnist that gives advice to little girls wanting to know how to make their crushes like them? This is a level of she can do anything that Kim Possible would shake her head at. Sure enough, Poochie hears the cries for help from the boy Danny, and her immediate response is to head for Cairo. How the heck are she and Hermes supposed to get there? In a rocket-powered car, of course! Seriously, I bet you anything E.G. and Goldie Gold were in a pissing contest with one another as to how much money they had. So once we arrive, we naturally get a rip-off of Raiders of the Lost Ark as Poochie and the disguised Hermes get chased around the streets of Cairo until they are rescued and aided by their canine Cairo contact. Hey, making up bad alliteration is the one thing keeping my sanity intact. And he shows them the pyramid of Nick Naughton, where they eventually find...
Danny!
It's at this point where, amazingly, Hermes shows himself to actually be halfway competent, as it's he who starts finding clues as to where Danny's dad may have gone.
Here we go!
I did say halfway competent. And this takes them all the way to the lost city of Atlantis? Oh no, it's even crazier. We learn from exposition from both the natives and Danny's father, who our heroes find when they get locked up with him, that the city is inhabited by a race of people devoted to protecting the tomb of this Nick Naughton. So they built an entire city underground and rigged the pyramid up above with traps to send any explorers down into the city, where they are then killed in ritual sacrifice. Go ahead with your own Linkara jokes about ancient Egypt, I've heard them all by now. Of course, the high priestess of the city isn't too high on these sacrifices and wants to just use something called the Forgotten Flower that apparently wipes memories or something. But naturally, the men in the city refuse such an idea. So much for ancient Egypt being open-minded to women. Where's Cleopatra or Nefertiti when you need them? So their practice is to mummify Hermes' daddy and his dad and leave them in the tomb to suffocate to death. But fortunately, Poochie had eluded the psychos and is now back to save all three of them. How?
Stop them! Quick!
Really, did someone watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and think we can get even crazier?
Oh, out of the way! I can't stop it!
And then Poochie poses as a messenger of the goddess Osiris to declare the gods want the sacrifices ended and to use this Forgotten Flower once again. Wait, if the Forgotten Flower hadn't been used for centuries, how is it still alive? Were these people still cultivating this flower even if they intended to never use it again? Maybe I should stop trying to find logic in the rituals of ancient civilizations. So all three are put under the flower's spell, including Hermes putting on a big act since the aromas wouldn't affect him as a robot, and they are all just dropped off on the riverbed on the other side of the pyramids. Though the priestess secretly gave Danny a pendant saying she would always remember him. Aw, that's not creepy at all. And the show ends with Poochie and Hermes back at World Now headquarters, just in time to get another urgent message and be back out on the road again. Oh yeah, this was definitely meant to launch a full series. Like the Fluffy Dogs, it never came to be. You know, it must have been great to have been a cartoon writer in the 80s. You really could craft some knucking-foot story around the most insane characters, and as long as they could be marketed as toys, someone was going to give you funding for your little endeavor. If there's any one reason I love the internet, it's that it's allowed obscure, crazy stuff from 40 years ago to get turned back up again. I would be out of a show if it wasn't for this. I don't know if that would be a good or a bad thing.
Our boy is lost so far away.
Our boy's